Hey there. So, my next guest, really cool. He's a truck driver and he gets to talk about some of the experiences he's had along the road and kind of what it's like going around the country in different environments and like some of his favorite places, and still being a gamer streamer at the same time. So, for those of you who are like, "Oh, I don't have time," like this guy is was all over the country and still found time to game. So, you don't have an excuse. Check it out. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Gamerpreneur podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Bradford Carlton. Today, I have a very special guest with us. I have Austin James Chancey. Hey there, Austin. How's it going?
How are you? I'm doing all right.
Oh, it's a beautiful sunny day in Las Vegas. How about yourself?
It is raining in Florida as usual, Florida afternoon. So,
Yeah, well, which part?
I live in Tampa. West Tampa. No, it's East Tampa actually. Sorry,
Oh,
I get my East and West mixed up. So, east part of Tampa, outside in a small town called Lakeland.
I love it. I've spent a bit of time over in Bradenton, so I know how it goes.
Okay, yeah, Bradenton. That's a nice little area.
Oh yeah, I got to spend some time in a old folks community with my grandparents for a little while.
Yeah, Bradenton. Yeah, that sounds like the area. That and Fort Myers.
Yep. So, Austin, why don't we begin? Just tell me a little bit about yourself, and then we can get into this.
Well, during the day, I drive 18-wheeler semi-trucks.
Huh?
I've been driving it's been about 2.5 years now. So, yeah, 2.5 years. And then at night, I try to stream. I definitely stream Friday nights, but yeah, depends on the work schedule, but it's hit and miss on some days. And then I also help out with Undefined.
Okay,
So,
wonderful. So, before we kind of get into that, I start every interview with a single question. I'm going to ask you, just like I ask everybody else. So, on
okay.
a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being high, how weird are you, Austin?
I would actually say 11.
Why is that?
I'm very weird. My wife can attest to that.
Like, what makes you weird?
Everything. Okay, so when I eat French fries, most people dip it in ketchup. I dip mine in mayonnaise.
And I
Uh,
There's some communities that do that. That's not all that weird. What else?
uh, most people think it's weird. What else is weird about me? Trying to think off the top of my head. Okay. I have a collection of wrestling stuff, and I'm 25 years old now, 24. So, and I'm a huge pro wrestling fan. I take it super serious. Like it's almost real to me still.
I grew up with Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. So at 24 years old, most people have gotten out of there, and I'm still in that. So
All right. So this is the Gamerpreneur. You told me you stream a little bit, can you give me your gaming background? When did you first start playing video games?
I think I was 7 years old, and my dad bought me a Nintendo GameCube, and he bought me a Nintendo GameCube, and it had the old like flip screen that came with it. It
Okay.
attached to the GameCube itself, and then it looked like kind of like a laptop. So you didn't plug it up to a TV or nothing, and it came with Legends of Wrestling and Simpsons Hit and Run.
Oh,
So
that
that's
was a good
probably
one.
yeah, about 2004, 2005. So yeah, that's when I really got into it, and then later down the road, my uncle bought a PS3 and he gave me his old PS1, not knowing because I was still like venturing out playing Game Boy Advance and stuff. And then I never knew nothing about Xbox or PlayStation, so he gave me PS1 with Harry Potter Goblet of Fire. So after that, I kind of ventured out on my own and started playing PlayStation more. And then we get to today where I play on PC.
Fantastic.
So yeah,
All right. So what are you playing today?
mainly Destiny 2 has been the game I've been playing, but I also play a little bit of American Truck Simulator, which you can go figure. I do it by day, and then at night I do it again on a game. So,
Okay, why? Why would you do your day job at night?
well, probably mainly because American Truck Simulator, it's got the over the road feel, and I'm a local driver now. I did a year and a half over the road, and my wife and I decided it was time to settle down and come home. I had a house, trying to fix it up, get everything look nice. And but I still miss the road. As young as I am, I like going out there and seeing things. So I figured the best way to go about it was American Truck Simulator, because
Wonderful.
they have the Western 11, all the Western states, Nevada, California, Washington, Oregon. They're getting ready to release a Idaho DLC, I think it is. So yeah, and a Colorado is the next one after that.
Very cool.
So
Okay. Another kind of a fun question. Desert island scenario. Put you on a desert island. You only get one game the rest of your life. You get a power cable and an Ethernet cord to go with it. What game is it?
I might have to choose American Truck Simulator. I love the road that much. So yeah, American Truck Simulator all day.
Fantastic. Okay. So, what is it like being a truck driver?
It is at first scary because you realize that you are probably the heaviest thing on the road. You are the slowest thing on the road, and a lot of people, when you first get started, they're so used to driving. I'm talking like four-wheelers, and they'll just cut in front of you. So at first you got to get used to the feel of driving that truck and getting used to the pedestrians around you. But once you manage that, it's pretty simple at that point, besides the backing, which you learn over time. But
Okay.
yeah, it's good. It starts off stressful, and then as you continue to learn your job and learn everything to it, it becomes an easy everyday task. So
See,
right now, go ahead.
the only time I've had more than two axles, I had to drive my grandmother across country, and we were pulling a trailer. It was a 30-foot trailer
Oh
behind this
wow.
giant excursion, right? So
Yeah.
we're a good 40 feet long, and I was going downhill in Georgia, heading into Florida through what seemed like a monsoon, and I was hydroplaning this thing.
Oh wow.
So
That's
I'm like,
scary.
I don't think I could do what you do. It's terrifying.
Yeah. Being I live from Florida, I've never driven in snow until I got behind the wheel of an 18-wheeler. So it was that was the scariest time of my career, because we just came out of a blizzard in Kansas. Me and my wife, she traveled with me over the road, and we just came out of a blizzard in Kansas. We stopped there overnight, let it pass, and then I'm heading to Utah to drop a load of candy bars. And it starts snowing in I-70. I forgot what state we were in, but it started snowing and it's all over the ground. And I was telling her, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. Like, I am scared. And I'm thinking what my dad had always told me, it's like rain, but slicker, but it was still super scary to me.
Oh, it's nothing like rain with slickers.
Yeah, I learned that. So kept it slow and steady, and we got through it. That's what was the important part. No accidents, no one got hurt, and we got to our destination in time.
Okay, so you've probably traveled quite a bit. How many of the states you say you've gone through?
There's a few states I haven't been able to go to. So off the top of my head, I know I haven't been able to go to Wisconsin yet. I got through, I think it was South Dakota. Never touched North Dakota. I have not been in Minnesota.
Okay,
I'm trying to
very
think.
cool.
There's like
So, of all of those states, then, what's your favorite to go through and why?
Texas.
Why is
I
that?
have fallen in love with Texas, and it's probably honestly because of Whataburger. Whataburger has been. I have friends who live out in Texas, and they told me all about it. And I moved to Jacksonville for a little bit, and I got my first taste of it. And after I came back down to Tampa, moved back down, I never had Whataburger again. And I'm driving through Texas, and I saw it, and there was one with a truck stop like right next to it. And I'm like, that's where I'm stopping for lunch. I don't care about anything right now except right there. So yeah, Texas, because I see Whataburger everywhere, and I don't know, I love it. And then it feels a lot like home. Texas feels so much like Florida to me. I've spent a lot of time in Texas, so yeah, it feels just like home.
Okay, now on the flip side, what's the worst state you've had to drive through?
California.
mean, other than getting stopped at the border.
California. Yeah, no, it'd either be California or I would say probably one of the Carolinas. South Carolina, more likely. California, because we can only go so fast in California.
Yeah.
We're restricted to 55 miles an hour, and then when we stop for the night, we actually have to turn our trucks off. They're very against the trucks idling overnight.
Hmm.
And as you may know, out there in that west part of the states, there's a more dry heat, so heat tends to stay hot most of the night.
Yeah.
So trying to sleep in those conditions was difficult for me. So I told him I ain't going back out California, because I think California is the only state out there that's like, oh no, you can't idle your truck. They'll actually come and give you a hefty ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay. So, what led you down this path to become a truck driver?
well, my father, he did it before me. And I was an install tech before, and we were coming. It was Christmas time about 2 or 3 years ago, and I guess I was next in line for promotion, and they overlooked me, and I'm like, y'all said I was supposed to be next, so I kept doing my job and started doing more research about it because he kept telling me, oh, it's so much fun, you should come do it. And I think I finally pulled the trigger in January and was like, yep, I think this is what I want to do. So I went out on the road with him a few times, and I like the lifestyle. Being able to see different states and cities every day.
Very
So
cool.
yeah,
Okay, so do you work for a company or do you own your own cab, or how's that work?
I wish I owned my own cab. I work for a company. We do business, and some of them get really kind of iffy about sharing who you work for. I don't understand that. I kind of do, but we do business with a discount grocery store like Aldi's. I don't
Okay.
know if you guys have Aldi's out there.
Oh, yeah.
Aldi's is pretty big. That's general gist of what kind of store we work with, and we just deliver the product to the stores is what I do now. I will say, because I have no worries for that, I worked for Warner Enterprises when I first started, and I did a lot of meat moving, like Tyson Chicken and
Mhm.
the different companies Tyson owned. I worked for Night Transportation, moving the same things but regional. And then when I decided I wanted to be more local, my first local job was with the Sigma Network, and we were driving 48 footers and sleepers into places like Miami, like Wendy's, Texas Roadhouse, Panera, and bringing the product straight to the store. So,
So, part of my purpose on the show is in case somebody's listening and they're like, "Oh, this sounds like an amazing job. I want to do that." I'm always asking my guests, how does somebody follow in your footsteps? Like, what's the first step to become a truck driver?
the first step I would recommend is do research. Um, Really, that's the only way you'll find out you'll like this. Our industry has a lot of people. They say if you make it past 2 years, you'll make it as a truck driver. Truck drivers who are not comfortable with it, people who thought they were going to be comfortable with it and decided later, 2 years is the breaking point. Um, and it's not for everybody because you start off, it's really hard to find a good job when you first get out of school. You have to
Mhm.
go to a trade school and learn to drive. They teach you how to pass the test, but it's really hard to, you sacrifice so much going over the road. You're spending time away from your family, friends, people you love. So I recommend that if you're going to get into it and you're young, get into it young where you don't have that, like myself. And if you are older, you have to be prepared to make those sacrifices going away from your family. Can you spend 3 or 4 or 5 days already away from your family? Because you're going to end up spending 3 to 4 weeks away from your family.
Mm, okay. How's the pay?
Pays great. At first, it's you're starting, so you're gonna go to a starter company, and they're not gonna pay you the greatest. But after you get your year of experience, you'll find a company that pays well. You know, I I'm projected to make about $49,000 to $55,000 this year.
Very nice.
Um, my dad, who does this over the road, he's projected to make $75,000 this year, and we're both company drivers. If you own your own rig, you can project to make six figures if you do it right.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously you have to make up for the stress, right? It's
Yeah, when
not
you
just
own,
driving.
yeah. Yeah, at that point, you're looking at the cost of the vehicle, maintenance, fuel, insurance, trailer rentals if you don't own your trailer. Yeah, it's becomes a lot more stressful at that point. I've seen a lot of people say, you know, I'm going to give it a try, and then yeah, this is not for me.
Okay. One more question about the driving, and then I'll talk about your streaming. What is the coolest thing you've ever seen while out on the road?
Coolest thing?
Yeah.
Um, I think the coolest thing I have seen was I'm going up to New Jersey. I got to see the New York City from the distance on the shore, and just at 2 o'clock in the morning driving through and just seeing the city light up. That was probably the coolest thing. There is a lot of crazy things I've seen, but the coolest thing would be
Okay.
the
I want to know the
city.
crazy things. I saw crazy.
Uh the cra- the craziest thing I think I have seen is probably I was driving through Georgia, and I forgot who I was driving for at the time. I know it wasn't a current company, but I was driving through Georgia. I just came out of the truck stop, got my lunch, and at this point we're maybe like 30, 45 minutes away from Atlanta. And I look over to my right as I'm passing a driver, and the driver is watching adult movies on his steering wheel while driving. And I was just like, are you kidding me? Of all things, why?
Yeah,
And
you gotta take care of business before you get to work, right?
I, I guess I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is a truck driver, and he's watching and he's looking down, and he's watching. I'm just like, you realize everybody passing you can see this who's at the same height as you, and he's not a care in the world. The only other craziest thing I've probably seen besides that is I've seen state police pull over a county police officer, which I was like, wow, way to go. So
Love to hear it.
there was a story I told you about Las Vegas when we passed through. My wife and I, when we were talking on Facebook, my wife and I saw what we thought was UFOs. It was just something, a light hovering in the air, and we were like, we might get abducted tonight.
Yeah, there's a few Air Force bases out here in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, we've seen the I guess the fighter jets coming into the city. We're like right on 15 heading
Mhm.
southbound into the city on the north side, and we're seeing the jets just and it's something so cool to see them fly in formation out of the city.
Oh yeah.
It was really cool. There's like two or three of them in formation flying like probably northwest.
Okay.
So
Yeah, we have a Nellis Air Force Base like right in the city here.
okay, yeah. Besides that, the other thing I liked about Las Vegas was the track where you can drive the supercars.
Yeah, well, that's right.
I told my wife, I was like, "Oh, we're gonna spend a week out here and we're gonna do this."
All right,
So
so Austin, let's talk about your streaming.
okay,
What's your handle for one?
I'm right here on Facebook with you. I'm Florida Man Live. I chose
You wanted that association, did you?
yeah, I figured I feel like I am a living example of Florida. Besides the ones who get arrested, I do crazy things. I'm always trying to have fun, which I feel like that's like the whole environment here in Florida is
Mhm.
a fun environment. So yeah, I chose that name actually about I want to say it was a couple months ago. Before I'm Florida Man, I was streaming under the name Aces Taz, which was part of a gaming community I had created.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I'm Florida Man, and mainly on Facebook. I've enjoyed Facebook. I get a lot of people, especially when I play American Truck Simulator, mainly like drivers who are over the road coming in and watching when they're done with their shift. So
Okay. How is it trying to balance, the day job and the stream?
I will probably say it's difficult because between the streaming and the driving, and then I also help with the undefined. I'm also a soon-to-be father. I'm married and a soon-to-be father. Thank you. So I know that's going to take more time out of my schedule.
Has anybody
Uh,
warned you yet?
yeah, a lot of people have warned me.
The first 6 months, it's best described as a screaming potato.
My wife is even warning me. She's sending me stuff on Facebook, tagging me, "Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?" And
Oh,
I'm
nobody
like,
prepares you. Like the projectile vomit, like I had my daughter on my left leg once. She was aimed at my wife, who was on the right side, just like the exorcist. And I was like, it didn't touch me. Like, how did it not get on me?
wow. And my wife sent me a photo of, I guess, of a toddler crapping itself, and it was just all over the baby. And I was like, oh my
Oh,
God.
yeah, that.
She's like, "Are you ready for this?" I'm like, "No, I'm not ready for that."
Oh, no. For you, um, when your wife has your baby, she's not going to notice anything wrong for 2 years. Okay, the screaming, the breaking stuff, it's all wonderful and precious. And for you, you're like, I know why the Spartans threw children off cliffs.
Yeah, I imagine. That's what I'm figuring it's gonna be. She's gonna be like, "No, no, no, it's so precious. Don't get mad at her because we're expecting a baby girl. So
Congratulations.
don't get mad at her. Don't do this." I'm sure that's what it's gonna be like.
They're wonderful. They're beautiful. They're amazing. That shrieking, though.
Yeah, I got people at work who tell me, "Yeah, you're not gonna get a full night of sleep because everyone knows that when I'm not doing any of that, the most valuable thing to me is sleep. Trying to
I'll
catch
give you
up
some
on
more
sleep."
advice after the show because there's a trick to being able to get them to sleep through the night
Okay, yeah.
without beating or alcohol or anything like that. Okay. Um, how often do you stream? Like you said, it was kind of difficult to get your
Yeah.
day job and your stream lined up, but how does that?
So I have Saturdays off. I work 6 days a week with the day job. My only day off is Saturday. So what I try to do is I'm for sure streaming every Friday night at 8 p.m. because I know Sunday I come in at 6 a.m. They haven't changed it. They don't plan on changing it. That's just my set time. So it works out where I can come. I get off before 8 due to laws and regulations that they need to follow.
Mhm.
And I am definitely going to be streaming, and I try to stream for about 3, 4, 5 hours, no matter if it could have no viewers and nobody chatting, or I could have a chat that's lighting up that night. I'm streaming. I do it for the fun right now. I see entertainment value out of it. I want to be able to entertain everybody. So, because I've always told the friends I stream with, if we just stream, I guarantee you the stuff that we talk about, it's not over the top. It's just always funny. We're always laughing and having a good time. Other people would love to hear it. So no matter what's going on, unless there's a bad thunderstorm or I'm afraid that the power might go out throughout the stream,
Mhm.
now I'm streaming on a Friday night. And then after work, if I got time to, I usually put out a post on Facebook, "Hey, I plan on streaming at this time tonight," maybe. And then I limit those to about an hour or two so I can, do what my wife wants to do that night and help out with Undefined where I needed. So, but Friday night is the main night where I will stream 4 to 5 hours.
All right. So I know you're still fairly young, Austin.
Yeah.
But if you could go back a couple years to when you were first getting started, after getting out of high school, and you could go to young Austin or younger Austin and go, so this is what's going to happen to you over the next several years. But here's the one thing you need to know in order to make your life that much better. What would you say?
I would tell my younger self, don't be stupid, because that's probably been the key in a lot of
Would you have listened?
yeah, probably not. I probably would have been like, "What are you talking about, dude? You're you're crazy. You're living fine." But yeah, I'd probably tell myself, think more about the actions that you would do, and think about how it would affect other people around you instead of just reacting and not thinking.
Okay.
So,
Now, do you have any advice for someone who may be wanting to follow in your footsteps?
um, yeah, with patience. Have patience. When it comes to streaming, it's not something that's going to happen overnight. I've been streaming probably for 2 or 3 years now. I've never got really hardcore into it, and until this very moment in my life. But have patience. I did something with YouTube. I built up to 100 subscribers within 2 years of just streaming once a night for every night for like 2 or 3 hours when I was working at Walmart. So it was, once a night, 2 or 3 hours, just streaming on YouTube, right from the PlayStation. So, PS4 had the built-in functionality to stream,
Mhm.
and people would follow and, like it. Yeah, patience is a key. And then if you have money to invest a little money, because this is, if you want to be a bigger streamer, it becomes a business. You got to maintain it like a business. You got to think about what you're going to do. You got to think about the games you want to play. Is it in your category that you stick to? Um, look at microphones, look at webcams. That's what I've been doing over the last few weeks is webcam. I finally picked the webcam I wanted after watching a bunch of test videos, and I finally picked a microphone that I want to work with. So it's just a lot of investing, and then if you're serious about it, you'll eventually make that money back.
Mhm.
I have not seen it myself yet, but it's not gonna, like I said, it's not gonna happen overnight. So if you have the patience, you have the stride to do it. Not the stride, but I don't even think that's a word. The passion. That's what I'm looking for. The passion to do this. And yeah, you'll everyone who has a passion to do this will eventually make it.
Absolutely. That is so true. All right. I want to pull back for a second, Austin. I want to talk about you a little more personally if we can.
Okay.
And specifically, I'd like to humble you if possible. You see, I believe we learn the most from our failures in life, the things we screw up, things that don't go right. Because we have to pick ourselves up, we got to dust ourselves off, and then like figure out what went wrong to fix it for the next time, right?
Okay.
I'd like to ask you, what is something that you have failed at, and what did you learn from it?
Um Really, it goes back to my real life job. At trucking, when I had started, I was very bad of keeping appointment times and failing to keep a schedule. And after I got a better grip of how my schedule worked, a lot of things started pulling forward for me in terms of even streaming, because I'm maintaining a real schedule, and it's scheduling. That's probably one thing I have failed at before. And then once I got a grip of it, it became life was easier to even maintain at that point, because I was keeping everything on a schedule, and I can't do this because I didn't schedule it today. I'm not just gonna like go off my schedule. I need to keep myself very scheduled, or it's gonna be a crappy day for me.
I love it. One of my catchphrases on the show is organization is the enemy of sloth.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Okay. What is something that people misunderstand about you the first time they meet you?
I get called an a-hole a lot. I'm very passionate, especially when it comes to gaming. Some people have go, you're an a-hole, and I'm trying to have fun, or if we're playing if we're playing super serious that day, like do not come in messing around. We're trying to play seriously, especially like Destiny when we're doing raids and stuff. Like that's serious stuff we're trying to do. But I get called an a-hole because I'm serious. I'm very passionate about gaming. But when you come around to know me, oh, this guy's pretty swell. He's funny. He's cool. He likes to have a good time. So yeah.
I love it. Well, awesome. This is fantastic. So, how do people find you on social media? I know I asked you for your handle before, but say they want to reach out to you.
They want to reach out to me, facebook.com/I'm Florida Man Live. And then I try to use Twitter. I'm not very well with Twitter, but I think my Twitter is I'm_Florida Man. But yeah, that's the best ways to get a hold of me. I'm diving into Instagram right now, but I'm trying to get my page connected to the Instagram handle. But that's the new project now is Instagram. But yeah, right now would be Twitter, or come by a stream. I think even you can message me on my channel. I think I have that open. And I'm open to talk to anybody, especially if you're like interested in the whole trucking thing, or if you want to learn more about our undefined network.
Right on. Okay, so Austin, as we wrap this up, are there any last thoughts you want to share? Anything I didn't ask that you think we still need to cover?
Um, Actually, the one thing I do want to throw out there would probably be with the Undefined network. You had Nordic Skull on, and the one thing he didn't really talk about is the technical aspect of things. Where we work with Discord, we're working on a website with another friend of ours who does the computer builds, as Matt had mentioned. But we do a lot of heavy with Discord right now, and I don't know. I don't know if we're still opening up because we're trying to maintain it where we could all help each other as a network. And when we go live, everyone's getting notifications, and we're all trying to watch each other and help each other grow. So if people are interested in that, you could always reach out to Matt and I, and we will do our best to help fit you guys in and help you guys grow, because we work together. We want to see everybody who has the same passion as us continue to grow and push each other to those limits, and make sure that we all. Oh wow, that was. I don't know if you heard that thunder strike.
Nope.
That rattled my house. Sorry, but yeah, it's yeah, the point is to watch everybody grow and push each other to grow and stay on each other. Like when one guy's not streaming enough, we're jumping on the dude. Like, come on, man, you got to keep streaming. Like, because we get it. There's times when nobody's coming in, and you're like, I don't wanna stream. Nobody's gonna come watch anyways. But no, we're there to help. So if you got some viewers who are really passionate about it and want to succeed, yeah, you can reach out to me or Matt.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
Austin
you.
James Chancey, we genuinely appreciate you taking the time to come on with us today.
I appreciate you taking the time to interview me.
All right.
So,
well, on that note, I say thank you again. And for everybody else, don't be just a gamer, be a gamerpreneur.